Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Go. Good evening and welcome everyone back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I am your host, Adam Cousins, and of course, it's NWA time, right? And if it is, you can tell, if you could see behind me, it's the Powerrr review from yesterday. And you know full well who joins me on every single NWA interview, review show, whatever we do. It's Fiona.
Hello, how are you, Adam? All right?
I am good. We are sidetracking a little bit, but we're ever closer to buckle up, and it's
so excited. I can't wait to come in.
Do you know what I find now? Is that because we've got so many of the guys that are on shows coming up the next couple of days, and I'm thinking the headache, because like you don't want them to get hurt or you don't want them to not being able to compete on Sunday. So every show now I'm like, I saw obviously I was talking to Nick Aldis yesterday, and we mentioned he's got one of our competitors, Charles Crowley, and I was just like,
oh, that'll be a belter.
It will be actually, and Dave, one of our other guys, is going. So anyway, let's stop talking about not I think NWA.
Yeah, wrong show. We're not here for that. Not today.
Wrong show. This episode just totally threw out even more questions than last week.
It was 100 miles an hour from start to finish. It was fabulous. I loved it.
It was amazing. I mean, they announced before. There was announcing on Facebook. We got some exciting news and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they said that later on the show, Matt Cardona would be talking.
Yeah. So that's we'll get to that, I'm sure.
We're definitely getting to that. Don't worry about that. We'll be getting to that. Now, basically on tap this week, there was 2 title matches that we're going to talk about coming up very shortly. Tom Latimer was defending, and so was Kenzie Page. We'll talk about those. There was obviously the Matt Cardona piece that we'll talk about as well, and he had some interesting words to say. And there was also a couple of interesting interviews, which gives us more matches for NWA 75 coming up. But the show started with one of your favourites.
My boy Colby taking on Alex Taylor of the Southern Six. That was a belter. I feel like I say that all the time, but the two of them came out and I don't think they took a breath once. I really don't think they took a breath. They just went at it straight from the bell, straight to the pin at the end. Yeah,
they did. I mean, it was quite a quick match. It was just under 7 minutes, I believe, but it was literally, I use the term balls to the wall, where they literally just went at it for so in-depth.
Yeah, they did. They really did. And it's really good to see Alex. Like, I love Colby, and I'm so glad to see him back, and it was great to see him in singles action, but I'm really pleased to see Alex back, not strapped up, so the shoulder looks like it's back now. After he took that injury in Australia. So I think they're very evenly matched. I really, really enjoyed that one last night. Really, it's probably one of my favourite matches on the card, if not my favourite on the card, actually.
It was. It took me by surprise, to be honest. Because obviously what NWA do, what I like is they just literally, the YouTube started and it, bang, here comes the match.
Straight in, no faffing about, no nothing, just straight into the action. They've only got a limited time, I suppose, and an hour or however long it is isn't long to fill, really, so...
No, it isn't long to cram in everything. As I say, this match was around 7 minutes. Colby picks up the win.
He's got a match at 75 against Kerry for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Please, Colby. Please, Colby.
You're being biased on this show, aren't you?
Sorry, Kerry, but Team Colby all the way. That's going to be I'm so excited for that one.
Well, that scratches the Mortons coming off of this podcast anytime. Thanks, but no, that match will be really good. I'll be looking forward to it. And obviously, Colby, the son of Steve Corino's our producer in WWE. I've met Steve once, many moons ago. I was escorting him and his wife out the building in Doncaster for 1PW, funnily enough.
Wow, back in the day.
The
first incarnation.
The first incarnation of 1PW, yes. Tom Latimer was next.
He was with Mario Pardua, who was actually quite impressive, who came with who was it, C Red in his corner, yeah.
We must forget that Alex Taylor did have Danny Dills.
He did, sorry.
Danny will not be happy if we don't mention the fact that Bill Man was on with Alex. But Again, reasonably short, 5-minute match probably.
But again, really fast paced for me. I thought it was they were evenly matched again. I thought it was really fast paced. Again, it was literally another match where it was just go, 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 go.
Yeah. Go from the start, no messing around, which is, again, I prefer those type of matches. Just give me 6 of those 5-minute matches, 5-6 minute matches every week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sold on that, because
definitely.
There's not a lot of stalling. There wasn't a lot of, it was just boom. Let's
get pretty much. That is it. That's accurate.
That generally is it. And obviously Tom retained.
He did. Nice little piece of show, a nice little piece of sportsmanship from him at the end as well. If you were watching, you'd see him go up and give a kind of wee unlucky mate, and not in a condescending, or it didn't appear to be in a condescending way at all. So I'm interested to see Purdue back and see what else he can do. I hope he'll appear more in the season, but I guess we'll just need to wait and see.
We will need to wait and see. Question is, who does Latimer face at NWA 75?
I have no idea.
Well, we'll be waiting. Well, there'll be, I'm sure we'll find
There's
out.
lots of options, lots and lots of options, I'm sure. So we'll just need to wait and see.
We will indeed. Kenty Page, nice little promo, setting the sights on the women's world title.
Yeah, that would be an interesting matchup. I've watched Kenzie since she kind of joined NWA, and
quite young,
she is young. I think, I don't know, very early
20s
20s anyway, because I'm not sure how old Kylie is, her younger sister. I think Kylie's only about 18 maybe. But I've watched Kenzie since she came in, and she's just maturing and evolving and becoming better and better every time I see her. So she's got a nasty mean streak in her by the looks of things. But yeah, so yeah, her versus Camille, if Camille is still champ at that point, could be a very interesting lineup. There's quite a big size difference, particularly height size between them. Camille's a strong, tall female. Kenzie's by no means anywhere close to Camille in height, but that could be interesting.
Could they do that? I don't know when Camille's defending, if it's not 1 or 2, but could they do a double defense? We're going to get on with a tag team match that's been announced, but who
knows?
Or would it be?
I think it's the 7-win rule, isn't it? So she needs to defend the title 7 times before she can go for the Burke. So I'm not actually, I've kind of lost count of how many defenses she's had now. I should probably do my homework. Sorry.
Do the homework, exactly that. The next match that we had on was part of the United States Tag Team Showdown. So
it was indeed, yeah.
Matches to take on our boys, the Country Gentlemen, and I believe it's going to be an NWA 75. So
it is. So the way that they're working is there was 2 tag matches on Powerrr. The winners of each of them will face each other on night 1 to become the #1 contender, who will then face Country Gentlemen on night 2 of 75. So
that is it. So the first match on that one was Daisy Kill and Talos against Magic, Jake Dumas and Cody James with CJ.
Yeah. Magic Incorporated.
Magic Incorporated, that's right. Really nice little tag, actually. Nice little.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did.
Yeah, it was one of those ones. Again, you mentioned it. Pace.
Yeah.
Straight in.
Absolutely. Straight in, just get on with it, basically. There's some action outside the ring as well. I'm still shook at the size of Talos, man. He's like 7 foot or something. He's enormous. What a giant.
he's a fridge, that's for sure. And one of the things I'd say, because obviously these intimate settings at the NWA, when they go outside, you're literally on top of them.
They are, that's it. And I just clocked, I happened to catch on the hard cam side, there was some kids in the front row, and there was a little girl at one point like this, because he was literally like almost on top of her. She looked absolutely petrified of him.
It was. I did notice that on the outside. I was like, "Wow, that's like really close." But it's good.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
It's so much fun being there for that and just having it right there, right in front of you.
Yeah. Also, it's because it does give people memories. You've got the kids there, and obviously she was scared, but you're going to get the other ones like, "Oh my god, this guy's like right near me, literally near me or on me," because they literally are when they go outside that ring. But yeah, a really good Solid tag match. That was around seven or so minutes.
Yeah,
Blaze Kill and Talos picking up the win, which probably isn't a massive surprise.
well, considering there was a little bit of interference from
Mm.
CJ on the outside as well.
Yeah.
She involving the ukulele and Daisy getting upset over the ukulele, and yeah, so that was, I saw a gif of that today. It was actually quite funny where she knocks him out and then she's just sitting on the side of the ring like this, playing away. So that made me giggle. So well done, CJ.
Fantastic. Now the next bit. I was confused or anything like that. That was wrong. So Blunt Force Trauma, and I always know him as Damien Sandow, Aaron Stevens. So they got a match night 1, I believe,
against La Rebellion.
La Rebellion.
Yep.
And now either whoever wins that on night 2, or I imagine that's how it works, takes on Knox and Murdoch,
That's correct. Yeah, that's how it works. So it could be La Rebellion versus Knox and Murdoch, or it could be Blunt Force Trauma.
Why are the clowns not involved?
I don't know.
Billy, why are the clowns not involved? Who wins over the tag champions?
It's only week 2 of Powerrr. We're still a month out from 75.
Yeah,
We've
right.
had a whole season, so
yeah, you're right.
Things could change. I guess we just need to wait and see.
Well, we could wait and see, but they deserve a shot. 2 times they beat the tag champions.
I know.
They need to get a shot. I was quite surprised that it wasn't announced for 75 winning.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, actually, me too. Now that I'm sitting mulling it over.
So put it in your head now.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be revealed as we move on with Power. That's they'll probably give us a title shot. They'll get something later on. But the next match was another tag. This was the second tag match that you were talking about.
So you had Rush Freeman and Brady Pierce, the Spectaculars, up against the Fixers, Jay Bradley and Wrecking Ball Ligursky. They really don't like each other, Freeman, Rush, and Ligursky. Their whole, I don't know if you follow either of them on social media, but their social media back and forward has been absolute gold lately. And it's literally just one will tweet and it's like, I hate you, from the other. So it's absolutely glorious. I love it.
I found it funny that the Fixers are a limited company. I just love that. it tickled me more than probably what he should have done on there, but it was quite funny to see that they're a limited company. But they did, the Fixers fix the win.
Jump start straight in.
Yeah.
Straight in again, and then again another match where it's just bang. They didn't even wait for the bell to ring this time. They were just in about them. So
they kicked it straight off. Fixers picked up the win, so they will go against the winners of the Magic. Was it Magic Inc? Was it?
No, so Talos and Daisy Kills against the Fixers on night 1. So one of them are going to head on and face
the country gentleman.
The country gentleman for the US Tag Champs. So that should be interesting. That's a couple of either or are tasty matches for me, to be honest with you.
Because the country gentleman ain't exactly small guys either. So
no, and the country gentleman won the belts from the Fixers. Was it? They won the belt from the Fixers. I know the Fixers were the previous champions anyway. They had the old belts and things, and then they had to. There was the whole issue that they'd stolen the belts and the whole backstory of that. You need to watch the old seasons to catch up on that.
Now, Matt Cardona, the indie god, the deathmatch king, whatever, he's got more titles than anyone in the royal family, from what I know. Anyway, he's next in his garden or wherever he was. I would have thought.
I don't know. It looked quite nice though.
Yeah, I think it's by his pool in his garden, smoking a cigar. He's coming back to save NWA. He is.
It's been 6 months since we last saw him. We last saw him get put through the table by Mike Knox, which I got to witness in person. That was something. So he's quite upset, obviously, that his family, so to speak, have kind of turned their back on him. And he's coming back to save it. And he's basically just announced an open challenge for NWA 75 on, now I can't remember whether he said it was night 1 or night 2.
No.
But yeah, an open challenge, like literally could be anybody.
Now, normally when they do this, when obviously people like WWE and AEW do it, it's always an open challenge and someone new comes in and answers it.
I think, given it's NWA 75, it's their 75th birthday, which is a huge milestone for them.
Yep.
I would not be surprised if it's somebody out the blue. Remember when Ric Flair appeared out of nowhere and no one knew he was there? So, I mean, I'm not saying it's Ric Flair, but I would not be surprised if it's somebody completely unexpected that they haven't advertised. I don't know. I'm excited. There's a whole world of options out there. So I don't know. Like, has anyone got beef with Cardona across any of the other?
Beef out there.
Like, I'm sure plenty of people have got beef with Cardona, to be honest with you. But it's I'm excited to see him back in the ring. Obviously, it was quite sad, the circumstances where he had to give up the belt. I know lots of people love to hate him, but he's such a talented, arrogant individual that I'm excited for this one. I just feel like that's all I've said. It's been a banger. I've been excited, but it's such a good show. What can I say?
This was the episode in a nutshell. A banger, which is what you Cardona for me. I mean, he's been on my show. I like Cardona. I'm not sure how his gimmick will. Well, I don't know if he changes his gimmick in NWA. Not to Zack Ryder, but if you look at him on the Indies, there's, we were talking to him. We were saying like you wouldn't get away with some of the stuff that you do on the Indies in like if wherever he chooses. Eventually, he'll end up somewhere full time, and that will be and he wouldn't be able to get away with half the stuff that he does. But I am really happy to see him back. He did also hint that he was sniffing around the title as well, because he had to relinquish that title.
I know.
Due to injury.
So many options. But again, we're like just over a month out. We're 5 weeks out from the show.
Yep.
Is it 5 weeks roughly?
26,
weeks?
Isn't it? So like 40 days. 40 days.
So there's so many options available. It's going to be another one where we're just going to have to sit back and watch, and I'm really impatient. So this is going to be a long wait for me.
It's going to be a long wait for me. I hope they start giving I'll say drop some hints or something. But
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Billy likes to keep the fans on their toes. So I'd be very surprised if we hear anything, to be honest with you.
Probably not. Probably not. Main event time. We spoke about her earlier on. Kenzie Page, Samantha Starr for Kenzie's Women's Championship. Now, obviously, that was again another great, solid match. Again, 5-6 minute match, straight in.
Yeah, this one had a 6:05 time limit on it.
It did. So, 6:05 time. You're right. I did hear that, and I did wonder what they meant, but I'm guessing it's got to be only 6:05.
Yep.
So she won in about 5 minutes. Kenzie Page wins. Now, she was talking about going after the women's champion. They don't unify them, do they? Surely they will be.
No.
She'd have to do
it's a completely separate belt, completely separate. Like, you've obviously got the £10 of gold, the world's heavyweight champion, you've got the TV title, and you've got the national title. So it was just brought in as another belt. They won't be unified. Well, I don't imagine they'll be unified at all.
Would she have to do what EC3 done there and drop?
No, I think as long as she actually, I think if she goes for the Burke, then she can cash her 7 wins in, and if she cashes the 7 wins in, then that's the belt kind of up for grabs, so to speak. But just talking about Kenzie, can I just say, I don't know what you think on this. She was giving me massive HBK vibes in that ring gear last night. I adored it. She came out and I was just like, oh my god, it's Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Like, just it looked so good. I loved it. So I don't know if that was a nod to him or not, but such a good look on her. Brilliant.
Well, Kenzie, if you want to come and answer that question, you are more than welcome to come on.
Absolutely.
We'll have a good chinwag about that. Again, we've said this 2 weeks in a row now. We said last week was a real solid opener to the season. Mm-hmm. Second episode, as I said, left us kind of more questions than answers, which is good because it it positioned more things towards NWA 75, but it also threw another spanner in the works in a lot of places, which I like that because it keeps us, you want to watch next week. So how do you watch next week? You create some more stuff that you want to see what happens. And they've absolutely done that. So I thought it was a very solid second show, and I don't even need to ask you because you've already said banger, banger, banger.
Yeah, I know. I need to get some new vocabulary.
No, I always use those words. So anyway, before we shoot off, how was Gangrel?
He is the most loveliest, hilarious human being ever. I went down to Newcastle on Saturday and got to watch a show as a fan for the first time.
He was
And I don't know how long. I went to the North NCL, North Wrestling Show in Newcastle on Saturday night, which Gangrel was on. Holy moly, that might actually be one of my most favourite shows ever. It was phenomenal from start to finish. It had everything I could ever want from a show. Singles matches, tag matches, a hardcore match, championship matches. Hardcore match, though, family friendly show, so it was Legos as opposed to thumbtacks, which was amazing. Yeah. Gangrel was there, Joey Janela was there, Scotty Too Hottie was there, DeReese was there, Leon Slater was there, Session Moth, Mercedes Martinez, and a whole host of other incredible people, so it was fab. But yeah, Gangrel, brilliant. Met him on Saturday night, picked him up Sunday morning, we drove up to Glasgow, I laughed the whole way in the car on the way up. And then we had a great show in Glasgow with Inside the Ropes. As usual, Kenny does what Kenny does best and gets some incredible stories out the guests. And then we had a little impromptu vampire photo shoot in the railway arches behind the venue, which was really cool. I have my new album cover. Thank you, Mr. David Wilson, for that photograph when I released my first album of Screeches. Ooh. And yeah, it was phenomenal, really good. So great weekend. And then I have a really good show to look forward to on Sunday too. So I will let you say some more about that.
Yes. So just before we finish up on the show, sold out Sunday, not a seat in it.
Well done.
Like it was ever in doubt.
That's amazing.
So buckle up is Sunday. We have got so much. I mean, we were talking about British talent on there. We've got the Rev Pro Cruiserweight champion Conor Mills in the main event with Corey McRae, the world champion, and Smashing Mike. It was going to be a triple threat. Scotty Rourke will be on the show as well. I
love him. He's great.
I believe he's got Nino Bryant, which is another really good up-and-comer on the show. Charles Crow, he's on the show, provided Nick doesn't.
I love Charles.
On Saturday, that's what I'm saying. We're sending Dave down there to Saturday to Shropshire to do a run in.
Nick doesn't beat him up too bad.
Saying to Dave, like, don't worry that your back's broke. He's get in there. Just get in there.
Get the bottom wood. I don't care what state you're in.
Yeah, and bring Charles with you, fresh as a daisy. Yeah, he's taken a Mark True, I believe. Some of the card I'm remembering. Luna Blue, who's one of the really up and coming women's wrestlers, is taking an Artemis.
I'm excited to see that actually because I don't know either of them. So that'll be good.
Artemis, every time I've seen Artemis, she's been in the ring with men. So this is my first women's match that I'm going to see with Artemis, and Luna's been in the ring with Conor Mills. So she's done a lot. They both like that stuff, that intergender stuff as well. So yeah, that'll be a really good match on the card. I'm just trying to think of one off the top of my head now because there's
okay. You've got
how could I forget the Oka?
I saw him on Saturday. That was the first time I'd seen him wrestle, so that was cool.
An amazing champion. The Revolution Pro champion Michael Oka will be taking on Taylor James, who he said he wanted the best. So we have delivered the best.
That's exciting.
No pressure, Taylor, but you're going to have to deliver on this. Now we've done it, but that's near enough the whole card. I'll be there early with most of the team. Buckle, we've got to do some interviews pre-show. We've got to get our surprise ready for the show. There's also, from what I know, is that there's going to be an announcement about a huge return to Ignite in September. That's going to be announced on the show as well. So there'll be a big return that is going to be announced for the next show, and potentially something about Buckle Up 2. I don't know yet. I'm not going to. Maybe something about Buckle Up 2. But this has been another solid NWA Powerrr review. I have been your host, Adam Cousins, with the lovely Fiona Lockman, and I will see you, Fiona, on Sunday.
You will. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
And I will see some of you guys probably for the rest of the weeks. We've got Untold stuff coming on. We may have a certain snake coming on Monday, but we can't confirm that just yet. But potentially a Hall of Famer on Monday night. We're just waiting for the yes, basically, but I won't go any more than that until it's properly announced. But until then, guys, buckle down, stay safe, good night.